Well, now y'all been sending me this stuff about Miss Obama or Mrs. Obama, Michelle Obama is trying to interfere with Olive Garden and a couple other restaurants, trying to get them to get all that healthy food in there. And yeah, you got to look at what other first ladies have caused throughout history by supposedly innocent actions. Their intentions might have been good at the beginning, but it never stays anything good. I won't get into Hillary Clinton because I have no respect for that woman, and there's no way in hell I could talk nice about a communist goddamn bitch. However, I do have the utmost respect for her husband because even though he was a bit of a screw-up, at least his heart was in the right place. He tried. That's about all you can say for him. And, I don't care that he got a blowjob in the Oval Office. Hell, if I had a woman that looked like Hillary, I'd be trying to get anything I could, too, because going home wouldn't be worth it. But at the same time, let's go a little bit further back. You had Nancy Reagan. She got on the bandwagon with Linda Lovelace and a few others back in the 80s. And she was the one responsible for all these kitty pervert child molester laws, which I agree with. I mean, you don't need some 30-year-old out there fucking a 15-year-old or a 12-year-old or whatever. But let's take it a deeper look at what has resulted from those laws that she caused by seemingly innocent actions. We've got 18-year-olds, one of them right here in Florida, that have been sentenced to 20 or more years in prison for having willing consensual sex. Now, the one kid that's in question, granted, he got that 20 years because he was dumb enough to not take the plea bargain, and he fought his case and pissed off the district attorney, and that's why he got the 20 years. That's how that shit works. But he shouldn't have got 20 minutes, as far as I'm concerned. His girlfriend was 17. She was willing. It was the parents that called the cops. Nailed him on his 18th fucking birthday. Nailed him that day. And to me, I mean, an 18-year-old, hey, give him a 4 or 5 year grace period. I mean, 13, yeah, that's probably pushing it. That's probably not right. 14, yeah, it's borderline. 15, 16, 17, an 18-year-old ought to be able to fuck them without going to jail. You got 20 and 21-year-olds that had 16, 17-year-old girlfriends, and they went to prison or got probation or whatever, and I just don't think that shit's right. I mean, whoever wrote those laws put no thought into it ahead of time as to the consequences of what they were writing, the deeper consequences. Their heart might have been in the right place. Yeah, like I say, I agree. Some 30-year-old don't need to be fucking no 12-year-old. That shit ain't right. But 20-year-old fucking 16, 17-year-old, that's pretty close to natural. It's just gonna happen. Same with an 18-year-old fucking a 17-year-old. That shit's just gonna happen. Let it happen. Government ain't got no place in that shit. But because you had people behind the movement, Nancy Reagan, who didn't think things through and let others think for them, it caused a major nightmare for a lot of people. And I read some of these cases, I just feel sorry for these fucking kids. Plain and simple. And what I've been reading on this Michelle Obama, y'all seem to all be sending me the same damn article about Olive Garden agreed to kiss her ass and they're only going to have healthy food and they're going to get rid of French fries. Well, you know what? They get rid of French fries, my ass is going down to Outback or over to Applebee's or somebody that got some fucking French fries and some greasy burgers. And the point of me saying that right there is, Mrs. Obama, you fucking with American businesses. Your husband has already fucked over enough American businesses. We don't need you doing that shit too. Plain and simple. You know, I might be a gun-toting fucking redneck, but I do have a brain, and you know, abusing the position of First Lady, I'm not going to say power because there's no real actual power involved with it, at least not at a legal level, but I mean, you do bear some influence. But I mean, say that goes through, and Olive Garden and a couple other restaurants cooperate, well, I mean, where does it lead? Do we end out with legislation that McDonald's can't serve nothing but healthy food? I'm sorry, McDonald's is a redneck fucking haven. People go there, people go into these restaurants because they have food that people want to eat. Olive Garden was a success because they had food that people wanted. You know, not food that some woman up in the White House is going to say, hey, you should have this. You know, I mean, not everybody likes that shit. I mean, it's like these vegans, you know, vegans, whatever, them vegetarian motherfuckers. Whenever you sit there and listen to them, you know, they think, oh yeah, anyone who eats an animal. I've actually been told that I should not be in animal rescue because I'm not a vegetarian. Yet, you know what? Neither are most of the critters that I help. And I'm not a shelter, I'm not an animal shelter or anything like that. It's just people know I'm an old farm kid and I know how to put in a stitch and I know how to fix animals up, so they're bringing them to me all the damn time. You know, it's not uncommon for me to have 3 or 4 animals around here that I'm healing up, and I release them back into the wild and feed them out here in the yard for, hell, Cooney I've been feeding for, what, 4 years now? And she comes in and out the house on her own free will. There ain't no use trying to keep her out. She's getting in. But I don't mind. I mean, she's had a litter of babies, and they all come up and get treats at night and shit. But I don't mind that. There's been a couple other animals here, and that, you know, I'm probably supposed to have licenses, but I ain't making no money off of it, so I don't see no point in having no licenses. I'm just doing what's right on that. But if you look at where could that go? Michelle Obama interfering with Olive Garden and a few other restaurants. Now that might seem innocent, but what happens? You know, we get a local ordinance somewhere and then maybe a state law. That shit ain't right. You know, she really needs to step back and not be abusing her position to promote her own goals, because quite frankly, out of all the people I was talking to, there was about 100 people at that gun range today. And out of all the people I was talking to, listening to, and I was doing a lot more listening than talking, there was no one that wasn't laughing about this shit. And there was quite a few people pissed off about it. And strangely, you can't claim racism because they weren't saying that. They were saying basically the same thing as I am. Hey, she needs to not interfere with any American businesses, period. They were saying, hey, don't nobody go into Olive Garden, you know, for that healthy shit. People go in there because they want to get full on some good food, you know, and You take that good food away, hey, Olive Garden ain't going to start doing very good in the South. You know, they might do good with the yuppies and the Yankees, but they ain't going to do good with the Southern folk. That's for damn sure. We all know that Outback and Chili's and Applebee's is right up the road. Anyway, I'll let y'all fuckers and fuckheads later.